An exciting parcel arrived through my letterbox this morning. Whoop 4.0 is here. Let's get into the box and talk about what's new and what I'm looking forward to. Hello everybody, welcome back. I'm Rupert and today we're going to be talking all things Whoop. First, let's get into the box and see what is new in the Whoop 4.0. So, very nice box, all matte black, little setup guide. Then the two main things that you'll find in the box are firstly, and most importantly, the new Whoop 4 with the strap. And next we have the battery charger, new and improved, more on that later. And then a USB-C to USB charger, which is also another improvement that they've made with the Whoop 4.0. So what is Whoop? It's a fitness band, but unusually for fitness bands, it aims to take a holistic approach to your health. So it's on your wrist all the time, getting to know you, and then it sends all this data, analyses it, and puts it into the app on your phone in an easily digestible format. There are a few things that I particularly like about Whoop. Firstly, it's always on your wrist. You never have to think about taking it off. They even have a very clever battery pack system where you slide the battery pack on, charges the Whoop on your wrist, then you take the battery pack off and charge that separately. This is brilliant because it just keeps things nice and simple. One thing that's definitely unusual about Whoop is the subscription service model that they use, where you pay a monthly fee to get the benefits of Whoop. This is obviously different to the one-off purchase that everything else does. When people first hear about the subscription model, it's an obvious turn-off, but I think there are some good things about it, particularly the fact that Whoop is always having to keep their customers engaged by making new features and keeping their sort of offering really good rather than just getting someone to buy something and forgetting about it. And this is why the Whoop 4.0 has come out. It's just come to me because I have a subscription. Didn't have to buy it separately or anything. Whoop works through an app on your phone. The app gives you an overview of your day, how much strain you've taken on, which is a measure of the total strain that your body and your heart has taken on that day. So if you've had a hard day at work, that will register just as much as going for a brisk walk or a jog might do. Then it gives you a recovery score, and it gives you a sort of sleep performance score. So what it does is it takes the previous day's strain and previous day's sleep and combines that into your recovery score for the day. With a lot of data to get into, so if you go down a level, you can look and see how your strain is trending over the last week with all the numbers. You can have a look at your average heart rate, number of calories burnt, all sorts of things like your resting heart rate, etc., which you can really delve into if you are really interested in that kind of thing. But what I think is very good about it is it's actually very simple to use. We will also suggest with the strain coach and the sleep coach how much exercise you should be taking on each day or when you should get to bed, which is quite a nice helpful nudge. Another cool feature is the sleep journal. When you wake up each morning, it'll ask you a few questions that you've chosen, and then you can measure these over a period of time and see whether, for example, reading before bed helps you go to sleep and sleep better. So the big question everyone asks about Whoop is, do you need it? And obviously it depends who you are and what you're trying to do, but as just a fairly normal person who does a bit of sport every now and again, obviously no is the answer. But is it genuinely useful and can help you improve different aspects of your daily life? For sure. For example, it might help alert you to the fact that you might have COVID. Your respiratory rate, which Whoop measures, is normally very constant. But when you have some kind of infection in your respiratory tract, like for example COVID, you might get a big spike in it. And this actually happened with a golfer on the PGA Tour who saw a spike in his respiratory rate the morning before the tournament, didn't go to the tournament, had a test late that day, did test positive, and so the fact that he decided not to go based on his Whoop data meant that he didn't risk giving lots of other people COVID. I think now actually most of the PGA Tour staff and players wear a Whoop strap just because of this. Secondly, and just in terms of sport, it's brilliant for managing your workload. For example, I went on a week skiing recently to do the Inferno race. See the link up here for the video on that. And the day before the race was course inspection day, so we were going up and down the hill, checking out the different lines, working out where we wanted to be. Normally I would have thought that was quite a relaxed day, wasn't a lot of intense skiing, wasn't a lot of skiing, but looking at my Whoop data, I saw that actually it was the most strenuous day I'd had that week, and therefore I could use the sleep coach to tell me when to go to bed a little bit earlier, and make sure that I was properly recovered for the day of the race. When I woke up on the morning of the race, had a look at my recovery score, saw that it was 45% or 50%, which was good considering how much I'd done the day before, but also meant that I knew I shouldn't push myself for the morning of that day before my race if I wanted to do as well as I could do. Okay, this is probably what you're all here for. What's new in the Whoop 4.0? Well, the biggest thing is the improved heart rate monitor. So the current Whoop 3.0 has a very good heart rate monitor. According to the website, Whoop 4.0 has 4 times as many photodiodes, as well as red, green and infrared sensors to get new information. I listened to a very interesting podcast with Will Ahmed, the founder of Whoop, and his technical team about how they tried over 90 different combinations of lights inside the Whoop sensor to get the best reading of your heart rate throughout the day. This new and improved sensor should give you more accurate data and also, and quite importantly, give you faster real-time feedback. So if you're doing heart rate training, for example, you can be more confident that you're in the zone that you want to be in. Secondly, there's been a bit of a form factor change, which is pretty cool. They've made the new version of Whoop a third smaller than the old version, while keeping all the same functionality, improving the sensor, as I mentioned before. The charging pack is also a third smaller, but the battery life is still the same. It still lasts for about 5 days. Speaking of the charging pack, it is now fully waterproof, so you can go in the shower while you're charging your Whoop, which I think was a problem a lot of people had, shorting their battery pack by just forgetting about it. It's also USB-C chargeable, so it will charge a bit faster and it's more compatible with all the wires that you have lying around. Third thing that's new is that Whoop will measure your blood oxygen levels with pulse oximetry. It will also measure your skin temperature. It takes a lot of these measurements, particularly your resting heart rate, your heart rate variability, which is a very important number. There's lots of interesting blogs on that on their website. Your skin temperature and your blood oxygen level at the deepest part of your sleep cycle, normally about 4 or 5 in the morning. This is the moment of the day when there's the least variance between days, so it gives you a consistent reading so you can rely on the data day by day and see if trends emerge. I'm not quite sure personally how much use I'm going to get out of the blood oxygen levels or the skin temperature, but maybe Whoop will improve their offering as time goes by, and there'll be something obvious that you can do with that data. And finally, something I'm really excited about is the alarm feature. There's a little motor inside the new Whoop which will wake you up at the optimum moment of your sleep cycle or at a predetermined time, just like a normal alarm. What I think is quite cool about this is that it's quiet, so you don't have the horror of being woken up by a loud and angry alarm, and also the idea is that it wakes you up just at the moment when you're in your lightest sleep, so you should hopefully wake up feeling quite refreshed and ready for the day. I currently have some Philips Hue light bulbs which gently light up just before my audio alarm goes off, and I'm excited to see how this new Whoop feature works and plays into I wake up in the morning. Well, there you have it. I hope you've enjoyed this video. This has been the unboxing and review of the new Whoop 4.0. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. Thanks so much, and till next time.